Alright, see, we've been talking about Director of Information Technology. I think it's really super critical that you do have to fully understand that every day you clock in on one of those positions, whether, see, it's a multi-world circumstance. Rich is doing some job. I don't care what job it is. It's not necessarily important for me. It comes down to company command on 99% of the power of the voting swing on that decision, and I rely on that. That's super critical. I just can't not have that. And so every other position has it as well, as long as the mass gap. 99 ain't bad. When that one is some kid with the mass gap going, hey, fucking Kodaks, bro. What about that auto drop when Tim would get this? There was a day in the office, it was like, Tony, or yeah, not Tim and Tony. I think it's Brian, big brother of Tim there, the other Tim, military Tim, fired up. Donnie caught us all. I was like, what happened with the auto drop? And he go, I turned that off. And I was like, yeah, that, you know what? That's the right answer for why he stood up and defended himself. But the wrong answer, and the fact that the right answer to follow it up in Donnie's terms was, did you turn it off when it was done for the rest of the block? Now, if I calculus this and I went back to that block with the line up and with this conversation I had to have with Donnie and some of these other guys about your block line up, your fucking crew, when it happened in front of everybody, when I gave my 2 weeks down there and they didn't say anything to their head managers on the floor, expecting me to walk away and leave and play it off if I didn't say anything, and probably the battle damage of any chess game, pawn e2 to pawn e4, as it begins from that relative perspective. Now that's Stanford. That's right there in the box, ain't it? You just living in there on that force bar like, whoa, the floor might fall out from underneath you. Somebody swing the board around out here. All right, now you the ball. Oh. The mask guy kept that right. We should have the right answer regardless if, hot shit otherwise. You know what? I'm a man. I'll admit when my numbers were wrong. Sometimes Donnie and those guys were right about it, but it's hard sometimes when the oxygen's up and down. You're fucking one skid steer, two skid steer, down a crew, cutting one every fucking week. Hard to get a read on her exactly what the fucking problem is, but it makes it real obvious that the one thing that fucking problem was. So you tell a guy like Rich or Peter, Paul, fucking Jerry, all of them, and you tell them, oh, look, you have the opportunity here, because a lot of you deal with the probation, parole, drug and alcohol, have to factor that shit into your safety rotation anyways. Why don't you take it to the next level of chemistry and the dual diagnosis? They don't have thumbs and arms because you guys got to deal with that shit. Fucking Nubby, he's a three-finger Joe. He's always floating around in here somewhere. Whatever life had done to you. I fucking talk about a car accident. Three-finger Joe, let me tell you. Got a Doomslayer scar. I might need to remember this. Yeah, man. What's the law, man? You look at a lot of, you go looking, you see G's all over New York State Police. All the police station got a fucking compass and square with a G in the middle of it. It's like, well, maybe they won. I guess I gotta look at that like. Everything else is really just hanging on. I mean, you welcome to Earth. The game, I don't care what fucking alien culture, dimensional being you come from, hang on, man. Those numbers are wild, dude. And, welcome to Earth. This is the stone mill. This is your new tomb. As far as the gravity numbers that are my numbers that you output that actually do physics, you will either die a superhero here today and they'll make statues and legends and legacies after you, or you take the challenge, Mason. It's easy. I don't fucking throw up. She's gonna make it quicksand. You're gonna hit the top limit where the funny car pro mods of the mechanics and slides in and how many players you got and really whether you should, would, could, or want to do it. I mean, they're gonna matter. Like, well, I don't know. I mean, like, you have to factor that somebody else's on the thing, all the gears and, the scars and the big old Jaegers, they got some some dents and dings in them too, you know. I mean, fuck kaiju and keter you banging around with sometimes. So that's director of information technology. I want to teach that. It was like, that's the point, because you get into the prison, right? And so you got these boxes that look like that Jaguar program right there, except for motors. We got a psychologist, and in this motor, you know, where the gears and the dimension are made of the right materials, hydrogen, helium, iron, whatever makes that thing do for a standard model, X and Y's, you know, and then you program them. It's like, there's a fucking saw. There's a torch position. It is 83 sexual, fundamental, failure, behavioral stock models of your life and timelines right now. I could walk away from you as a drug and alcohol probation coach, director of information technology, triage battlefield doctor that made this situation as a Mason to build a fucking hospital and all the other laws. And I want you to take that note into consideration for a fucking second. When you think about that and some of the other fucking avatar kids set up into this doing their thing, it might look like some of these saw programs in front of you, some of you guys. And on the top end, there's a lot about, I'm going to try to teach you down. Millennium's up, you down. Like, in order to forget the blendy and the calculus and all that, I'm registering your test. You got an attitude thing, and that's good. It's humor, it's that. I'm going to play this on calculus, the standard models that I know of over reciprocals and timelines. Masked out marshmallows. It's like they're all marshmallows, but just terms, and terms lined up in a chemical analysis, chemical system could say that they're steric for things like engineering. You wouldn't understand that, but that locks it out. It blocks a lot of it. You forget, hey, engineering, engineer core, HEVEX guy, you had a chemist today, you know, MacGyver that shit. I don't expect you to walk out there and defuse the bomb without training. You knew gravity. Gravity was the unbalanced equation. Why the fuck wasn't gravity on that? How the fuck did I get here? Alright, who are the numbers? 1911, got it. America. Well, you get out there. Imposter out here. Cool. And we ain't got no more cops. Nobody like calm this down. So that happens in the stone mill. It happens everywhere.